The movie begins with Matt and Kate, a married couple who have purchased a house in upstate New York. The house needed some fixing and cleaning. While renovating the house, the two get into a small argument because Kate calls out Matt's fixation on music and art. Eventually, they let it slide and continue to work. In the kitchen, Kate finds a dead bird and tries to bury it. However, she gets distracted when Matt decides to throw things through the window, as it is faster than going down the stairs. When she looks back at the bird, it's no longer there. Matt finds a strange-looking wall with an unusual keyhole. After ripping wallpaper curious, he finds the keys in the pile of trash and opens the door. Once it is opened, he calls Kate and together they enter the hidden room. They get surprised when the light flickers, so Matt decides to call the power company. They ignore the hidden room and continue with the renovation. The next day, the power company arrives and scans the hidden room. They find a huge room with very old electric wires. Since the electrician has not seen anything like these wires, he cannot do anything about it. Before leaving, he informs Matt that the previous owners of their new house were murdered. After hearing this, Matt immediately looks it up on the internet and discovers that a married couple named Paula and Madeline were indeed killed inside the house by an unidentified John Doe. Matt gets more intrigued and discovers that John Doe has been admitted to a mental hospital. He couldn't get it off his mind and drew John Doe's face on his canvas. After this, he gets a bottle of whiskey and hangs out in the hidden room. After finishing his first bottle, he wishes that he had another one. The light flickers, and another bottle of the exact liquor that he's been drinking appears out of nowhere the next day. Kate wakes up to the light continuously flickering. She sees Matt, who's been wishing for things the whole night. When Matt sees his wife, he immediately shows her the original paintings by prominent painters. Kate thinks her husband is high, so Matt asks her to wish for any material thing to appease him. She wishes for $1,000 and Matt finds it in the corner. She still couldn't believe it, so she wishes for $1 million, thinking it was Matt playing a prank on her. She wishes for $1 million, and to her surprise, as soon as the light flickers, it appears in front of her. However, she walks out on Matt, as she has a bad feeling about this. Matt convinces her to enjoy this while it lasts. They wish for more money and expensive things. Kate even resigns from her job, as they enjoy a luxurious life inside their house. However, despite all this partying and pleasure, Kate remains empty inside. There's something that these things could not fulfill: the happiness of mothering a child. Matt tries to comfort her by making a nursery, and asks her to try again to bear a child. But instead of being happy, she gets upset with him. She reminds him of the hardship she went through with miscarriage and losing their unborn child twice. Seeing that his wife is upset, Matt goes for a ride while he's out. Kate gets an idea and wishes for a baby. Matt comes back to the house and is surprised to see that there's a baby inside the nursery. He immediately confronts Kate about this, and that to get into a heated argument, because Matt doesn't want to keep a baby that isn't theirs, or anyone else's, that to go inside the room with the baby. But Kate can't bring herself to do it. Matt gives it a try, but he also cannot do it. Upon hearing it cry, seeing that they cannot get rid of it, the two eventually accept it as their child and care for it. However, Matt is still reluctant about the baby and remembers John Doe. He continues to investigate it and sees the new clip with his testimony saying, "The room made me do it." He decides to visit the mental hospital where he is situated and take some cash from their pile. Upon arriving, he discovers that no one has visited John during those 45 years, just reporters, so he posts this one. The two meet in the visiting room, and John immediately realizes that Matt is not a reporter. After hearing that Matt lives in the house, John exclaims that he's been waiting a long time for someone like him to visit. John taunts him by asking if he's enjoying their stay, which shows that he knows about the room's ability to grant wishes. Matt remains unimpressed and asks him why he killed the previous owners. With a warning tone, John answers that it's the only way, and adds that they have to get out of the house before it's too late. He says that the only thing more dangerous than a person who cannot get what they want is a person who gets everything they want. After this visit, he goes to a gasoline station to refuel his car, only to discover that the cash he brought has turned into ash. He immediately rushes back to their house to confirm his theory that they cannot bring anything they wish for outside, or else it will age at an unbelievable speed until it disintegrates and turns into ashes. With this, and John does warnings map, begins to tear the walls of the room apart, only to see that there is just more wire behind them. While tearing the walls apart, he sees the map of the house showing him the outline of the wires. He tries to examine it but gets overwhelmed seeing how intricate it is. A little later, he notices that Kate is going outside with the baby. He tries to warn her without disclosing the whole truth, since she thinks he's just acting up. Kate continues to go outside. After a few seconds, Kate finally realizes what Matt meant. Matt tries to hold it in to get rid of the baby in the most natural way possible, but after hearing his wife's screams, he rushes to go outside and save them. In just a matter of seconds, the baby has grown into a prepubescent boy. While their new son is resting, Matt reveals to Kate the rules of the room, which is to never bring the things it created outside. Otherwise they will age and turn into dust. Kate remains in denial and says that their son is not a thing. However, they cannot do anything about it as they've already seen it happen. Despite the baby growing overnight, Kate is fond of him and decides to name him Shane. 3 months have passed and Kate decides to homeschool him as he did not go through his formative years overtime. Shane expresses his desire to go outside, but Kate insists that he cannot as he is sick, and that the house protects him. However, this upsets the young kid and he starts to throw tantrums. Kate makes sure that he can never go outside, and she even locks the door, even after receiving packages. While Kate is busy playing with piano and Matt, who purchased a gun for their protection, is practicing his aim. Shane takes this opportunity to steal the keys and sneak out. He opens the door and reluctantly takes his hand outside, enjoying the breeze. This breeze reaches Kate, which makes her aware of what's happening. Before Shane can go outside, she rushes to close the door and check if he's aged. Because of this recent happening, Kate starts to barricade the windows and doors. Kate and Matt's paranoia starts to strain their relationship, as they couldn't even sleep at night. One night Shane goes to Kate's bed to sleep with her. There he expresses that he wants to be with her forever. The next day, despite not being allowed to go inside Matt's room, Shane enters it with a snow globe. However, Shane gets surprised when Matt enters the room, causing him to drop and break the snow globe. That night Shane discovers the abilities of the room and creates a simulation that perfectly mimics the outside world. After seeing how everything inside the room feels, Matt pulls him outside the room and scolds him for using it. Kate gets upset about this harsh behavior towards Shane. While the two are arguing, Shane answers a phone call, which Matt snatches away on the other line. It is John, who discovers that they have made a child. After hearing from Shane that it was John Doe on the line, Kate goes to another phone to eavesdrop on the conversation. Matt asks him if there's a way to stop something from aging, even after leaving the house, and John reveals to him that in order for Shane to leave, Kate has to die first, just like the previous owners. It turns out that John is unidentifiable, because he was created by the room, just like Shane. His parents also killed themselves just so he could live. After hearing this, Kate drives the car and decides to sacrifice herself. Since she's left the house, Matt and Shane are left alone in the house. He makes the child some dinner. However, since Matt is distressed about Kate not returning home, he reveals to Shane that they are not his real parents, and Shane is not real. He also tells him that if he goes outside, he will age really fast until he turns into Shane dust. Yells at him saying that he is lying. So Matt pulls into the doorway and opens the door so Shane can test it. However, Shane is too afraid to even go out and runs back to his room. Matt comes back to his senses and goes to Shane's room. Kate couldn't kill herself, so she came back to the house. She's still unsure of whether to sacrifice herself. After seeing Matt and Shane peacefully sleeping on the same bed, she decides not to go through with it. That restored their affection for one another, and the couple makes love, unaware that Shane is watching them. While they're tired from their love-making, Shane takes his opportunity once again to steal the key and sneak out. After realizing their child has gone out, the two rush to go down, only to see that Shane has grown into a teenager, but with the same maturity. However, he takes out a loaded gun and threatens Kate and Matt. Matt then tackles into the ground, while Kate slowly loses consciousness due to being knocked out. After a few moments she wakes up, and tells Matt that Shane got shot and disintegrated into ashes. Kate goes outside and slowly breaks down. Matt consoles her and carries her inside the house. Meanwhile, the real Matt is knocked down in the real house. It turns out Shane shape-shifted into him, and recreated their house and place inside the room. He also locked the door to the hidden room, leaving Matt locked outside. Since he's determined to enter it, he tears down the walls, goes through the tangled wires, and finally enters the room where he discovers what Shane has done. Kate, on the other hand, discovers that the Matt she's talking to is Shane, because of his habit of chewing ice. She continues to feign ignorance until he starts to grow her chest. Feeling sick, she tries to escape. However, Shane overpowers her and forces himself into her. Matt, on the other hand, was just in time and broke the windows. Shane goes out to check the noise, allowing Kate to escape. However, she encounters both of them asserting that they are the real Matt. The real Matt uses a word that is only between the two of them, so she pushes Shane down the stairs, wearing off the effect of the shape-shifting. The two try to escape, however. Shane wishes to never let them out. Matt, on the other hand, wishes to get out of the room, giving them the opportunity to escape. Shane unfortunately follows them outside with a knife. He stabs Matt to death and tries to console Kate, only to realize that the couple outsmarted him and the two are just clones, buying the couple some time to finally escape the room. Shane discovers their ruse and follows them outside the room. Matt uses this opportunity to take him outside. When he tries to get inside the house, Kate locks the room and refuses to open it. This causes Shane to age quickly and eventually disintegrate into ashes. Despite all that he's done, Kate goes down on her knees and mourns the death of their son. 1 month later, the two decide to rent a motel room for. Kate realizes that she is pregnant. She looks frightened as she is unsure if this is Matt or Shane's child. However, she gets more frightened when she sees the side lamp flicker, making her think that what if all this time they're still inside the room that Shane created. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. For more movie recaps, hit the like button if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.